We begin with continuing coverage on the coronavirus outbreak. The number of cases here in Nueces County has climbed to 18, and one of those cases is an employee at A&M Corpus Christi. Now, the university says that person has not been on campus since March 12th, but that person did have contact with an employee outside of work. Also this afternoon, the city announced an 8 p.m. curfew for both the Gulf beaches and the Bay beaches. Police will be monitoring access to those beaches, and vehicles out there during the day must stay at least 100 feet apart. Well, now to some great news for a Corpus Christi firefighter who had come in contact with someone who tested positive for coronavirus. His test results are back tonight and they're negative. However, he and 4 other firefighters who also made contact with that person will remain quarantined. Now, as Seth Kovar reports, the fire department wants to be monitoring them for a while for any signs of COVID-19.
The quarantine firefighters are not here at station number 4. They're actually at a station that was closed, and they're going to be there for another week or so. It was a week ago today that they went out on a call for a person with heart problems, that person later turning out positive for the coronavirus.
We have 8 firefighters that are currently in quarantine.
That's down to 5 tonight, but 4 of them still don't know if their exposure to COVID-19 was enough to get infected. It's why the fire department is monitoring them.
I can tell you that we are taking care of them and they are in good spirits.
And that's why the city's already making changes. There will be increased screening of 911 calls, so there's a better chance that the right personnel show up with the right gear.
If there's an EMS vehicle close by and the case isn't high risk, then we'll just send the EMS vehicle. So that to say fewer persons arrive at the scene if appropriate. It's all based on the diagnosis from the 911 call.
In the quarantine case, 4 firefighters from Station 12 responded to the heart problem call in the Annaville area. An ambulance from another station joined them. 6 crew members in all taking care of a patient who would later test positive for the coronavirus. 1 crew member never got close to the patient and was put back on duty. The remaining 5, including the one with the negative test results, remain quarantined out of an abundance of caution. 3 other firefighters who came in contact with them and were briefly quarantined are now out of isolation. But in this age of coronavirus, why weren't they wearing more protective clothing like masks?
The Corpus Christi Fire Department responds to roughly 120 medical calls per day. And if we wore 2 to 5 people wore the gear on every call, on every medical call, we'd run out.
That's why if you have an emergency, you need to tell 911 all of your symptoms. It might not have mattered in this case, but with emergency workers battling an invisible enemy, information is an important weapon.
We know that the community really embraces our first responders tremendously, and we appreciate that.
Well, I came to Station 4, well, frankly, because it's the closest one to my house, but there is another reason. Every firefighter is on the front lines when it comes to the battle against the coronavirus. That's why local leaders urge you to take those precautionary measures and also to follow the order that came down, stay at home. Reporting in Corpus Christi, Seth Kovar, Chris 6 News.